I guess I really don't know what Christmas is all about.
So, this tree is like the family tree. It's the tree that we've had forever because my mom, she was allergic to trees. So, my grandparents got this tree, and I've known this tree my entire life. So, it's raggedy, it's falling apart, and you just gotta be careful with it and show it some love. And honestly, I feel like what I needed was to be surrounded by familiar things, and my family always enjoyed Christmas. We went all out and decorated a shit ton for Christmas, and it's where all my happiest memories are. And so putting together this tree and decorating for Christmas was actually kind of therapeutic in a way, cathartic. But it was also really sad and kind of hard. And I didn't cry, but I did get teary-eyed and for a little bit. And while I was putting it up, my stepdad also called, so that made me not sad, but we cried and got teared up for a little bit. But it is a new day, actually. By when I did this was a new day because our toilet exploded. Can you believe it? Our toilet exploded. So what had happened was I was building the tree, as you could see, and we were watching Christmas Prince on Netflix. And my boyfriend got up to use the bathroom downstairs, and he does his business and he flushes. So we've been having issues with that toilet for a bit. And I thought because he was using a toilet, that meant that the toilet was fixed. You know, it was fine to use. But it was, in fact, not fixed. Suddenly he curses and comes stomping out the bathroom. I'm like, what's going on? But I let him handle it. And he cusses some more, and I get up and I see him come splashing around the corner. So I rush over to see the toilet was overflowing. So I had to get the mop and mop it up. And he's messing with the toilet parts in the tank, and I tell him turn the water off, but he gets the valve to stop, and then it just, all the pressure builds up and it just squirts in his face. And he tells me to hold the tank valves in place, but the water's going to overflow anyway. And he leaves me. He leaves me with my hand in the toilet, water all over the floor to go get tools, and I'm standing in, like, my slides are about to go under. They're about to drown, and I'm sitting here holding it. I'm like, oh. But he comes back with the necessary tools to, like, turn the valve, because the valve was, like, rusted or something. It was very old, and he just couldn't get it. Eventually, he gets it, and the water stops. We take a much-needed deep breath, and I get back to work. I go get the spare towels from upstairs so that way the water doesn't get to the carpet, and I can just try and keep it contained. In the bathroom, I laid the towels on the floor to suck up the excess water, and I'm mopping up the water that's overflowing, that's coming out. So it doesn't mess up the carpet. He told me, like, I could stop and it would be useless. It's not gonna work, but I mean, it was doing something, but honestly, it just took me back to when I was young and living in Jersey, and our basement would flood frequently. Mopping up the water was what I felt like that I could contribute to the situation. So as I'm mopping up the water, he made a glass of bourbon that my stepdad just left him because my stepdad was here like 2 days ago. And eventually I get the water mopped up to a point where I could take a break because there's literally nothing else I can do. But then I had to go to the bank. And long story short, the lady did not verify the information that she typed into the computer. And thus, she sent my money to someone I don't know. She canceled the transaction, but said I had to come back a couple days. So I did what any young adult would do. And I called my stepdad. And he tells me to go back in there and speak to the branch manager. So I walk back in there. They act like I wasn't just there 3 minutes ago. Like, I just walked out and now I walked back in. And I've been there for like almost 2 hours, honestly. Pause, because here I am changing my tree building technique. So I walk back in there and I ask to speak to the branch manager, and they make me wait like 30 minutes, and I'm still on the phone with my stepdad, and at this point he gets on another phone and calls corporate, and they don't speak to me until like another 30 minutes later because someone from corporate called them. So eventually I'm speaking to the assistant manager, and Pops is speaking to the corporate people, because apparently this situation could have been resolved if she got the manager involved, the lady who was helping me originally, and she should have just owned up to her mistakes. But the real gag is that the lady who helped me originally was so concerned about who I was sending my money to, but she doesn't even know who I'm sending my money to, because she typed in the wrong information. And she should have just owned up to it and gotten a manager, someone who had more power over her, and rectified her mistake, and not blame me. Why do I have to suffer because your person messed up? But when my pops was on the phone with corporate, the dude said, no, this is a simple fix, and that's what she should have done. So clearly this is a specific person issue, because corporate don't roll like that. So why is this location doing that?
Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. Vixen and Vixen and all his reindeers pulling on the reins. Bells are ringing, children singing, all is merry and bright. So hang your stockings and say